right here. These things is on bezel. Oh my god, that sucked, but whatever. This is what Naruto had, this god ability. Like I said, I'll probably only post 3 of these videos. Maybe 4. I might do the whole Tazuna thing. But they would be walking out of the Leaf Village. Naruto wouldn't overpack. Naruto wears the same clothes, but I'll say he wears red instead of orange in this. But like I said, he doesn't have these clothes that you see on this picture. But yeah, because that comes on after he transforms. And then the weapons will appear too. So, we're gonna get to the... I like those weapons though. Wait, is that... Oh, no. I thought that was a fire, but that was just my thing right here that I just clicked. Like, he has fire too. After this, if you guys want me to teach him like a different element, or you want a different element, but I thought lightning and water would be, or lightning and wood would be a good choice for these types of weapons. But yeah, so this is whenever they would be walking out of the village with Tazuna, and while they're walking, Naruto, and Kakashi would notice a puddle, and they would notice that nowhere else has any signs of like moisture, not even in the air. So that puddle seems out of place unless somebody personally put that there. And that's whenever they get close and 2 figures pop out, and they're known as the Demon Brothers. And they attack Kakashi instantly, seemingly executing him by killing the... That would freak out Sakura, but Naruto would be ready for this. He would pass Sasuke if he tries to attack them. And he would grab him and would start spinning on their chains and launch them into trees. They would try to get up and try to claw him. Naruto would, of course, dodge these, grab their arms and their gauntlets, and would smash them against each other, breaking them. So yeah, they broke against each other. That would release their hands from any weapons that they can use. And that's when Naruto would punch them in the throat, crushing their windpipes, not killing them, but stopping them from breathing, knocking them out. So Naruto would be the one who took down the Demon Brothers. And Kakashi would appear again, saying, "Good job, Naruto." It would praise Sasuke and Sakura for protecting the village. Tazuna instead of going out into battle recklessly. Sasuke would be mad because he was gonna do that, and says he's just a show off. They would continue walking and walking, nothing special. But this is whenever they would notice that the fog's getting deeper and deeper, or thicker and thicker, the deeper and deeper they go, until they get to an opened area near water, in a tree, in one strange area. To me it looks like, I want to believe there's like a natural tree that just growed there. It could be possible. It doesn't look natural in Naruto though. And that's whenever a sword be slung out of the forest. And this sword would be known as Zabiharu, the Executioner Blade of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist, wielded by Zabuza, the Hidden Mist Demon, as Kakashi would say, and he would appear above, landing on it, saying, "Aren't you Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja?" This whenever Sasuke would be overwhelmed by fear. Naruto would be fine, he's getting ready for a fight, but Kakashi would put his hand in front of him, saying that this is a S-rank Jonin, this is officially S-rank mission. It would say, "Stand back, I must advance and attack. Take 2 steps by the every amount of dice numbers you have. Rolls 1, 4 steps, go ahead, Kakashi. You're in a range to use my mess up eye." Pulling out the Sharingan, and that's whenever Zabuza would roll and he would get a 1. He'd be like, "Crap, this always happens to me," jumping down from his area and walking 1 footstep. And it would say, "Commence battle." The battle would go about the same, but whenever it gets to Naruto versus, or after he gets trapped into the water prison, and Naruto would come up with a plan with the Demon Wind Shootingans, or yeah, I think that was called, and would pull them out, and he would pull one out, spinning it, or he would do the whole thing with Sasuke, but whenever he comes out, he sends 2 of them at him, while Sasuke sends 2 of them at him. And they would do the same thing with the one just going below him. Instead of going far back, it would pop out, tapping him in the back, smacking him to the forward, and would turn around, almost getting hit by kunai, but he has to jump back. And that would cause him to release Kakashi. And Naruto would think that these weapons are pretty cool. I like them. And stuff like that. The battle would go about the same, but whenever Kakashi's about to land the killing blow, as it seems, Simbos would be launched out of the forest, and a strange boy, doesn't seem too old, would pop out and would say that he would obviously look like part of the Anbu, and would take Zabuza. But Kakashi would still be weakened by the battle from using his Sharingan that isn't natural, which exhausts him more than normal Sharingans do in the natural blooded. So he would go on, and so they would go on to the bridge builder's house, and Kakashi wakes up from the drain. He would explain that that was not a real Anbu, so most likely Zabuza is still alive. And he would say, "Now we have to train you," and all that. I'd say Naruto would probably know water walking and all that, because how else he probably seen in the scroll about regular chakra control after training some. So yeah, he's definitely would know it. So he would explain that he already learned it and stuff, and he says that I just want to work on stuff, which he would already learn that Naruto is trying to perfect the Flying Thunder God Jutsu, as I call it, because that is the name of it. I'm not sure why it's called Flying Raijin and Flying Thunder God. Is there like a different versions of it? But yeah, if you guys can answer that in the comments. But he would start training with it, and he would just lessen the chakra drain from it. But since he does have a lot more chakra, he would probably do more than if he had it in regular old canon. Probably only 3, but he'll probably be able to do spam them in a row with the amount of chakra he has. But he thinks I'm putting too much work into this jutsu. I need to practice my lightning. And he would start by expanding the field of his lightning by trying to generate as much of this through the ground. So he would instantly start shocking through the trees, pushing his limits of his quirk even beyond plus ultra. After doing this a while, he would build up more of a stamina for chakra loss and all that, building it up. But he would just trying to increase the power, and he would probably already have techniques made up for it, but he would most likely be able to use, he calls lightning god lanterns, which is a lightning attack which comes from the ground looking like godlike lanterns with like 6 orbs behind it, like dongs, and yeah, which these would cause a chain reactions, explosions if they're obsected, like activated. And then, of course, his ability to strike people out of the sky. Literally, it's kind of how the attack that Sasuke has in Shippuden where he shoots a dragon out the side. Just imagine that, but instead of a dragon, it's not gigantic, it's just tiny lightning attacks randomly from the sky. And he can probably do lightning dragon, roar, sort of something like that. Like he would be able to royal actual dragon out his mouth with lightning. After doing some of this training, it would be time to go to the bridge builder. He would probably be a little exhausted, so he would stay at the house resting from training. But this is whenever you hear a ruckus, and he would walk outside, seeing the people with the sword, and he would start fighting them and take them down. He would rush up to where Haku is, but whenever Haku is speeding, Naruto would shoot lightning bolts at him, and it would hit him, cutting some of his mask off with, instead of 1 cut, also there's 2 cuts. So he would not break the mask, but he would get there, land, and then it'll be about the same, but Naruto's not really getting that too much hit. But this is whenever Naruto's trying to figure out how to dodge moves from all angles, and would start dodging them, of course, at his best instinct. But he also has to protect Sasuke, but Sasuke's getting hit in the back because he can't cover all of it. This is when Naruto would start expanding lightning, trying to make a barrier. But in the process, he creates his lightning sense. As I seen this in One Piece, the dude that acted like a god in the town in the clouds, or the city in the clouds, where he had this ability like that, where he can set stuff with his lightning. Yeah, that's what I will give Naruto. And what he would do, it's not gigantic, so he can't like predict a whole bunch of stuff. But he would be able to see these symbols coming in, and he would swing his hand backwards where they're coming from and grab all of them and put them between his fingers and charge lightning into them and swing them. But after using this move, he doesn't know how to use it quite well, and he would be too busy absorbing it. And this is where Sasuke would push him over, with Simbo stabbing into him, seemingly killing him. This would cause Naruto to go in a fit of rage, just like Canon. But instead of red chocolate coming out of him, his eyes would glow blue, and his clothes would completely disappear. His scarf would glow up for a second and lengthen. His clothes would change. His hair would turn white. 2 weapons will appear in his hand. This is when he would swing them, slicing all the ice cage open, destroying them, hitting Haku and cutting him completely. That's when he would spin the blade in the air, holding his hands flat, with him saying, "I'm gonna kill you, Haku." Or he would say, "I'm gonna take you down," saying, "Twin Demon Wind Shurikens." Or he would say gigantic, but what it is, he takes 4 of these and he would spin them in the air and he would swing them, cutting stuff in their path with lightning. And this would cause him, he would of course go in the way, but this is whenever Naruto would see his devastating power with this mode that he seemingly have. And this would hit a rock near them, and what this would cause is an area to be destroyed and shoot rocks into the river, creating the Naruto Dam, which seemingly can control the water flow of the village and would cause the village to prosper because they can grow plants there, unlike the rest of the wavy villages where there's too much water that would make the soil useless around it. Which it would call the Great Naruto Thunder God because his lightning struck it down. Is what people see it as. The whole thing with Gato happens. The word would get around, or word wouldn't get around at all, because they'll be the same. But yeah, that area would prosper, and people would be happier in that village. And this is where I'll leave it off. Comment down his abilities. I'll just change the name later. And guess what? My outro. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a second. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hope you guys like that. Goodbye. Hit that like.